All good thoughts and ideas mean nothing without action. Mahatma Gandhi. Carefully watch your thoughts, for they become your words. Manage and watch your words, for they will become your actions. Consider and judge your actions, for they have become your habits. Acknowledge and watch your habits, for they shall become your values. Understand and embrace your values, for they become your destiny. Relationships are based on 4 principles: respect, understanding, acceptance, and appreciation. There are 2 days in the year that we cannot do anything: yesterday and tomorrow. Many people, especially ignorant people, want to punish you for speaking the truth, for being correct, for being you. Never apologize for being correct, or for being years ahead of your time. If you're right and you know it, speak your mind. Speak your mind. Even if you are a minority of one, the truth is still the truth. The true measure of any society can be found in how it treats its most vulnerable members. Our greatest ability as humans is not to change the world, but to change ourselves. Prayer is an impossibility without a living faith in the presence of God within. Keep your thoughts positive because your thoughts become your words. Keep your words positive because your words become your behavior. Keep your behavior positive because your behavior becomes your habits. Keep your habits positive because your habits become your values. Keep your values positive because your values become your destiny.
Don't forget to subscribe. Afterwards, the wisest and most spiritual books from the greatest authors await you every day. And now buckle up, sit back, and we'll begin.
Begin your day with prayer, and make it so soulful that it may remain with you until the evening. Forgiveness is choosing to love. It is the first skill of self-giving love. It's easy to stand in the crowd, but it takes courage to stand alone. Vaccination is a barbarous practice and one of the most fatal of all the delusions current in our time. Conscientious objectors to vaccination should stand alone, if need be, against the whole world, in defense of their conviction. You never know where your actions will lead to, but if you don't do anything, they will lead you nowhere. The golden rule is to act fearlessly upon what one believes to be right. If you want to change the world, start with yourself. Fear of disease killed more men than disease itself. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. It is for us to make the effort. The result is always in God's hands. When I despair, I remember that all through history the way of truth and love has always won. There have been tyrants and murderers, and for a time they seem invincible, but in the end, they always fall. Think of it, always. A customer is the most important visitor on our premises. He is not dependent on us. We are dependent on him. He is not an interruption in our work. He is the purpose of it. He is not an outsider in our business. He is part of it. We are not doing him a favor by serving him. He is doing us a favor by giving us an opportunity to do so. It's not too late at all. You just don't yet know what you are capable of. I find that we are all such sinners that it is better to leave the judging to God. Conquer the heart of the enemy with truth and love, not by violence. Peace is the most powerful weapon of mankind. The world is big enough to satisfy everyone's needs, but will always be too small to satisfy everyone's greed. There is no school equal to a decent home and no teacher equal to a virtuous parent. It is unwise to be too sure of one's own wisdom. To lose patience is to lose the battle. People say true friends must always hold hands, but true friends don't need to hold hands because they know the other hand will always be there. Keep your values positive, because your values become your destiny. God has no religion. Live every day like it is your last and learn every day like you will live forever. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Every home is a university and the parents are the teachers. Champions are made from something they have deep inside of them, a desire, a dream, a vision. Forgive and forget, but never forget to forgive. You may find a happier heart is the key to a happier life. I will not let anyone walk through my mind with their dirty feet. You may never know what results come of your actions, but if you do nothing, there will be no results. Your action expresses your priorities. It's the action, not the fruit of the action, that's important. You have to do the right thing. It may not be in your power, may not be in your time, that there will be any fruit. But that doesn't mean you stop doing the right thing. You may never know what results come from your action. But if you do nothing, there will be no result. Let your life be your message. Find purpose, the means will follow. Your future depends on what you do today. When you are right, you have no need to be angry. When you are wrong, you have no right to be angry. Silence becomes cowardice when occasion demands speaking out the whole truth and acting accordingly. Happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. A small group of determined and like-minded people can change the course of history. Democracy is not a state in which people act like sheep. Live simply so that others may simply live. Speed is irrelevant if you are going in the wrong direction. The truth can never be wrong, even if no one hears it. Every good movement passes through 5 stages: indifference, ridicule, abuse, repression, and respect. If you worry about yesterday's failures, then today's successes will be few. The future depends on what we do in the present. Civil disobedience becomes a sacred duty when the state has become lawless or corrupt, and a citizen who barters with such a state shares in its corruption and lawlessness. People cannot hurt you without your permission. An error can never become true however many times you repeat it. The truth can never be wrong, even if no one hears it. The simplest acts of kindness are by far more powerful than 1,000 heads bowing in prayer. You can chain me, you can torture me, you can even destroy this body, but you will never imprison my mind. Strength does not come from physical capacity. It comes from an indomitable will. The weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. I like your Christ. I do not like your Christians. Your Christians are so unlike your Christ. Your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits become your values become your destiny. Truth resides in every human heart, and one has to search for it there, and to be guided by truth as one sees it. But no one has a right to coerce others to act according to his own view of truth. There would be nothing to frighten you if you refused to be afraid. To call woman the weaker sex is a libel. It is man's injustice to woman. If by strength is meant brute strength, then, indeed, is woman less brute than man. If by strength is meant moral power, then woman is immeasurably man's superior. Has she not greater intuition? Is she not more self-sacrificing? Has she not greater powers of endurance? Has she not greater courage? Without her, man could not be. If non-violence is the law of our being, the future is with woman. Who can make a more effective appeal to the heart than woman? Be truthful, gentle, and fearless. There is nothing that wastes the body like worry, and one who has any faith in God should be ashamed to worry about anything whatsoever. The greatness of humanity is not in being human, but in being humane. Speak only if it improves upon the silence. Be the change you are trying to create. Human life is a series of compromises, and it is not always easy to achieve in practice what one has found to be true in theory. Nothing has saddened me so much in life as the hardness of heart of educated people. Our ability to reach unity and diversity will be the beauty and the test of our civilization. 7 deadly sins: wealth without work, pleasure without conscience, science without humanity, knowledge without character, politics without principle, commerce without morality, worship without sacrifice. Nearly everything you do is of no importance, but it is important that you do it. You assist in administration most effectively by obeying its orders and decrees. An evil administration never deserves such allegiance. Allegiance to it means partaking of the evil. A good man will therefore resist an evil system or administration with his whole soul. Don't let anybody walk through your mind with dirty feet. Make injustice visible. It is health that is real wealth and not pieces of gold and silver. Life is but an endless series of experiments. Terrorism and deception are weapons not of the strong, but of the weak. There is force in the universe, which, if we permit it, will flow through us and produce miraculous results. Recall the face of the poorest and weakest man you have seen, and ask yourself if this step you contemplate is going to be any use to him. Government control gives rise to fraud, suppression of truth, intensification of the black market, and artificial scarcity. Above all, it unmans the people and deprives them of initiative. It undoes the teaching of self-help. The enemy is fear. We think it is hate, but it is fear. Love is the law of life. You must not lose faith in humanity. Humanity is an ocean. If a few drops of the ocean are dirty, the ocean does not become dirty. Imperfect men have no right to judge other imperfect men. Intolerance is itself a form of violence and an obstacle to the growth of a true democratic spirit. It does not require money to be neat, clean, and dignified. Civil disobedience becomes a sacred duty when the state becomes lawless or corrupt. My notion of democracy is that under it the weakest shall have the same opportunities as the strongest. No country in the world today shows any but patronizing regard for the weak. Western democracy, as it functions today, is diluted fascism. True democracy cannot be worked by 20 men sitting at the center. It has to be worked from below, by the people of every village. We may attack systems. We must not attack men. Where there is only a choice between cowardice and violence, I would advise violence. For me, the different religions are beautiful flowers from the same garden, or they are branches of the same majestic tree. Therefore, they are equally true, though being received and interpreted through human instruments equally imperfect. Aggressive civil disobedience should be confined to a vindication of the right of free speech and free association. In a gentle way, you can shake the world. We must be the world we want to create. Earth provides enough to satisfy every man's needs, but not every man's greed. A man is but the product of his thoughts. What he thinks, he becomes. There is no path to peace, peace is the path. My life is my message. Mahatma Gandhi.
And that's not all. Our experts and regular viewers respond to all comments. Also check if you forgot to subscribe and set your bell to receive notifications about new audiobooks and other useful self-development materials that we release regularly. Join in the discussions, don't forget to give likes and, if possible and inspired, support the development of the channel financially. All useful links will be in the description and the first attached comment. Goodness, love and wisdom to all. And now move on to watch the next part of the video at the links below, or choose something from the playlists of the channel and those you see on the screen.